3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of SatChat Short Stacks. By the end of this episode, you will be able to determine the true price of Bitcoin by the Bitcoin blockchain. And I'm your host. Is that right? Did I say that right?
By the Bitcoin blockchain.
Sure, sounds good.
Did I?
If Simple Steve approves of it, you said it right.
Yeah.
Thank
Sounds
you.
great. Perfect.
I mean,
Thank
I guess
you.
you are technically looking at what's happening on the blockchain to get the price.
On the chain, by the chain, in the chain, of the chain.
Can we use,
Under
is there,
the
is
chain.
there,
All
Old
prepositions.
I was like, is there a bad preposition to use?
All preposition lead to the chain.
Yes.
I'm your host, Anna Bevan.
And I'm your co-host, Stuart. And today in the studio with us is number 60 himself, Simple Steve. Which, by the way, I was in Reykjavik, Iceland,
Reykjavik.
for my 40th birthday.
Nice.
And we walked past a bar that was exclusively Big Lebowski themed.
Ah,
And I thought about you,
Really?
and I thought about taking a picture of myself in front of it and sending it to you. But I was trying to stay off of my devices in order to be more in the present moment for my 40th, so I didn't do any of that stuff.
I would have liked that. Were you in Iceland like for a vacation or just stopping over? Or do you go to Iceland on the weekends?
I mean, once we get out of 93K, maybe. But it was
Oh,
it was
for your
a
birthday, that's
it was a
right.
40th birthday trip.
Right,
Yeah. So
okay.
we went to Iceland so that I could lift the legendary manhood stones.
Sweet.
It was dope. It was dope.
He checked his phone once every 24 hours.
Yeah.
So if
At Anna Bevan's request.
I was like,
Yeah.
you can't go away. Like, and he was like, well, what could go wrong? And I was like, if I knew what could go wrong, I would ask you already.
Yeah.
Nice.
But he was like, you have 24 hours. If you have your question before the 24 hours, great. If not, you have to wait another 24 hours.
Whole 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean,
Man.
our business, anything can be resolved in a 24-hour time period, right? I mean, it's not the same as, I mean, unless we got hacked.
Right. Which I
So-
couldn't have predicted if that were to have happened.
Right.
But you survived okay, and you lifted some heavy manhood stones.
Yes, I did, which was very important for me to know that I could do.
Yeah.
And now we're back in the studio, and we're here with quite a heavy digital stone that you, in fact, have lifted.
Yes.
In the form of a newly revamped UTXOracle. Because we've done this before.
Yeah.
There's a short stack out there introducing the original UTXOracle
Yeah.
to these satillionaires. And what was it? It was more like, there were dots coming in from this side, but it didn't look like this. It was something else.
The upgrade is
this
definitely prettier.
The first one? Or
No,
the
the
second?
upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Some people say they like the first one better. This one's just a little deeper insight. This is like you're living inside the blockchain. The last one was just how you could derive the price, and basically we're just showing you the price that happened. This one, you're seeing the actual transactions themselves. So this is, you're basically, living on chain, of the chain.
Thank you. Thank you.
By
With
the chain.
through the
With-
chain,
with the
as
chain.
the chain.
Thank you.
As the chain.
Right. Now, let's
Thank you, everyone.
let's do let's do what my beautiful wife and kindergarten teacher calls a picture walk. Right. That's where they take the kids and they just flip the pages of the book to take a walk through the pictures before ever trying to tackle
The words?
the words themselves. So take us on a
I love
picture
that.
walk
Yeah, I like that too.
of the UTXOracle, because this is dramatically more
That's- yeah.
visual than the first one.
That's how I order food at a restaurant. Just picture walk. Because I
So Mexican
reading
restaurants
words,
basically
yeah,
are your
like
jam.
This guy. Well, yeah, the picture here is the entire blockchain in one single image.
Think about it. Can we stop there for a second?
Every
the entire
transaction.
blockchain.
This
So there's
is the
16 years of
entire-
information. Right here.
16 years of information, 1 terabyte worth of information, probably like 2 billion transactions, all compressed because the eyeball isn't, can take in so much information and process it. So, yes, every transaction that's ever happened, including the ones last second, including that $90 million transaction right there.
And then I come over here and I start seeing all these dots. I'm like 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500, 50, 10, 5K. Then I'm like 1.2 million. Then I'm like 88.7 million. And it's just sitting there, 9.1 million. Like what's happening when we look at this image?
The walk around. Okay, yeah. So the first thing you see, these streaks, these white and yellow and green kind of upward streaks that look like the price. They are the price, but only in a weird magic eye kind of way. Because this is just a blockchain, just Bitcoin transactions. No one's sending dollar amounts on chain. They're sending Bitcoin amounts. But because people send exactly even amounts of Bitcoin, like $100, in such high proportions and such high densities, then when you look at the blockchain like I'm looking at it, the price just pops out like an emergent pattern. So it's, kind of like you're looking at a magic eye. If you're just looking at it too close, all you see is the Bitcoin transactions. But when you step back, you see like, oh, well, people used to always send each other 0.01 Bitcoin. And now people are always sending each other 0.001 Bitcoin. That hot pocket of clusters of amounts has moved up. Why has that happened? Well, in 2018 or whatever, that was $100. 0.01 Bitcoin was $100. And today, 0.001 Bitcoin is $100. And so, all amounts aren't as similarly popular in Bitcoin, right? I mean, just like if you were looking at checkouts at a grocery store or something, grocery store checkouts are going to be between $20 and $150 every day, all day. Same thing in Bitcoin. People are generally sending similar amounts to each other over the years in terms of that amount's purchasing power, right? So people typically send, a grocery store checkout amounts of Bitcoin to each other. People that are buying $100, which you should be, stacking sats. A lot of people have a dollar cost average, $100 per week. That's a different amount of Bitcoin every day, right? And it's definitely a different amount of Bitcoin over 10 years. If you were doing $100 DCA, you were getting 0.01 Bitcoin back here. Now your $100 DCA gets you 0.001 Bitcoin.
Man,
I feel like I kind of went too deep too quick there.
Well, first of all,
yeah.
Aves, could you imagine being able to get to a Bitcoin in 100 goes?
That seems so strange.
You're like, hey, I'm going to do $100 a week. That gets me 0.01 Bitcoin, which is 1% of a Bitcoin. After 2 years, assuming things stay relatively stable, you would have a Bitcoin. It would take you 100 units of DCA to get to a Bitcoin. Now 0.001, because
oh, sorry, we talk about stats here. Yeah.
Right?
So what is that?
It's 100,000 sats.
It's 100,000 sats.
Yeah, so you used to get a million sats for $100. Now you get 100,000 sats for $100. And you're like, bro, I got to do this 1,000 times to get to one Bitcoin. Eventually,
in
people
5
are going to have
years,
to do it 10,000 times.
Yes. So this graph is just going to keep going up. It looks like it's leveled off, but that's only because I kind of have the expanded view of the recent activity and then this is kind of compressed as you go backwards. But yeah, eventually you're only going to get 10K sats for that $100. So you should get it now. So you can get that 100K sats.
It's very overwhelming.
So I think I can understand the idea of listening for regular amounts of Bitcoin that is being sent, like a million sats or 100,000 sats. But what you're doing is you're trying to figure out the $100 mark or the $50 mark or the $10 mark. Like, what I don't understand is, how are you ascribing that number in the first place. If you're looking at the blockchain and all you're seeing are numbers of Satoshis being sent, it almost kind of, to me, it's like trying to wind the yo-yo up in the beginning where unless you do it real carefully, it kind of won't wind up. But like maybe you put your finger over the yo-yo, you do one winding, and then you pull your finger out, and now it's like, how are you doing that initial moment of determining how much is what?
Yeah. So I've written a program. It's an open source program that anybody can run, and they connect it to their own Bitcoin node, and they enter in no price information into it, and the algorithm just looks at these guys, and it just looks from like the overall shape of what's happening, because everybody who runs a Bitcoin node has this exact same data, and it knows that that kind of structure right there is going to be centered around the $100 mark. So people don't send each other $99 of Bitcoin.
They should, because that's a multiple of 9, and it would be great to do
People
so.
don't send each other $101 Bitcoin. So trying to find the $100, where $100 worth of Bitcoin is taking place would be like if Manhattan was completely flat and there was only one building, and it was the Empire State Building, and being like, how do you find the Empire State Building? It's like, it's right there. When you're looking on chain, it's not hard to find the $100 Bitcoin. What the mark? It's kind of the only, like when you look at this white line. This is 1 million outputs, right? You go just a little bit above, and you're an order of magnitude lower, 100,000. So imagine like one building is just 10 times taller than every other building.
Oh, crazy, dude.
Oh, interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So when you look at this visualization, you can go to these like white hot lines, and the one that is the whitest and the hottest is always the $100 mark, and from there you can orient yourself.
The one that's the whitest and the hottest, and also has this many white lines above it, and this many white lines below it, and this is the last reasonable line, and this is the first reasonable line. All of that information is just so incredibly consistent every day.
Wow. This is like the topography of Bitcoin, dude.
Right.
You're like a surveyor of old that's like set up a tool on a hill and is like trying to determine the lines of some colonial man's acreage.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's hard. It's one of those just large number things that's hard to wrap your mind around. You know, it's like, are you sure nobody can hack my password? Like, are you sure it would take 1 million computers guessing 1 million times? Because, like, it's one of those statistical large number things. It's hard. But, if you talk to somebody at Visa or something, they're going to be like, probably 1.8 thousand people are going to buy an airplane ticket tomorrow. And guess what? They're going to be exactly right. It's because there's nothing anybody can do to stop the amount of airline tickets that are purchased tomorrow. And Visa knows exactly how much that's going to be. Just because when you get into big numbers of independent humans acting as they wish, no one's stopping them, the statistics of what they do are very predictable. People are going to eat generally the same time every day. People are going to go to the bathroom same amount of times. People are going to sleep the same amount of times. People are going to make the same amount of $100 transactions. People are going to buy roughly the same amount of stuff at the grocery store. It's just very consistent and predictable when you're talking about. So every 10 minutes, I have 10,000 data points, over 1 million data points in a day. That's 1 million people doing independent things every day, and it's so much data that is just very consistent every day.
That's insane.
Yeah, it makes me think about how we as people are just not mysteries at all.
No, but in a good way, right? I mean, the reason that you know how we measure the way our money gets less valuable based on grocery store prices going up.
Yeah.
How come nobody says like, no, people are eating more? Like, oh no, your grocery bill is going up because everyone's eating more. It's like, no, obviously everyone's probably eating about the same. That's the reason the whole theory of grocery store measurement of value even works in the first place, right?
Golly. Do you feel like Simple Steve like holds giant mathematical constructs in his mind and just hangs out with them?
I'm trying
and
to be
looks at 'em?
simple.
Well, I mean,
Trying to
like,
be
this
simple.
makes
Well,
me like...
you simplified a terabyte of data across 16 years into one.
Yes, it
family
is.
friendly into one image. You're gonna make me curse, dog.
Yeah.
So you are keeping it simple, but
Right.
you also have quite the capability to handle math. One thing that we probably should have opened up with at the beginning of the show is someone like me looks at this and is like, "This is it," but the everyday person, let alone the beginner Bitcoiner, isn't going to know why this is so insane. Like,
Yeah.
can you help us understand why somebody should care about checking the UTXOracle exchange rate for Bitcoin versus going to the Clark Moody dashboard or to the exchange of their choice? Like, what is this? Why is this so cool? Why is this such a breakthrough? What does this do for us?
Well, it just helps a little bit. It just Bitcoin's all about cutting out the middleman. All about like individual sovereignty and stuff like that. Obviously, we still need the exchanges because if you want to buy a large amount of Bitcoin and you don't have like a friend that you can just buy it from, the exchanges are super helpful. But if you just want to know the price of Bitcoin, it's nice to be able to just get that from your own node without having to ask anybody. So instead of using a third-party app on your phone to check the price, which is fine, But, actually today was an example. I heard Cloudflare went down today.
I literally said that earlier today.
Yep.
And
Right.
I woke up this morning because I'm in my refresh Clark Moody dashboard phase.
Yeah.
And I refreshed and it was like, nah,
Yeah.
man, nah.
Exactly. I had some people telling me that on X, they were like, all these price feeds are still down. Guess which one's still up?
Yeah,
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
Yes.
Because pretty much every API, every website or whatever uses Cloudflare.
Mm-hmm.
This you can get the price directly from your own node. You don't even have to go on the internet.
That's insane.
I'm getting the price just from whatever somebody thought $100 of Bitcoin was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not telling you like I know the price of Bitcoin. I'm telling you from the last 1,000 people that sent Bitcoin transactions on the Bitcoin blockchain, this is the price that they use to determine their round numbers of dollars. So it's just a very natural, elegant aggregation of people all over the world, what they think the Bitcoin price is. Now, they probably got the price from an app on their phone or, but maybe there's 100 people and they got their price from 100 different exchanges, which is awesome because the median of all that is a really nice, smooth, elegant price. This also doesn't have like huge spikes. If you have, let's say a millionaire knocks on the door of Coinbase with, a wagon full of like fiat worthless cash and just dumps that wheelbarrow over onto the order book of Coinbase, he's going to cause a little flash crash there. You're going to see the Coinbase price kind of go up and down, spike. But that information is going to be kind of filtered out because not a lot of the information resulting from that dump of cash is actually going to make it on chain. So Coinbase price might spike up and down. Oracle price is going to be kind of smooth.
This is block height 924184. My name is Stuart. Number 60 Simple Steve is the Archimedes of Bitcoin and has in fact found a way to determine the exact price of Bitcoin, aka the exchange rate. Let everybody know.
Yeah.
Let the whole world know.
The one true price.
But for all of those who enjoyed today's short stack, okay, subscribe to Satchats to win 2 million sats. Or I guess a better way to say that is subscribe for a chance to win 2 million satoshis. We're gonna conduct that drawing when we hit 10,000 subscribers. And there's nothing stopping us from hitting that overnight. So subscribe now because you don't want to get left behind. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can sponsor our show. You can support it in other ways by diving into the show notes underneath this video and checking it out. Satchats short stacks is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. Also, our guest views, especially about the old subways underneath 5 Points here in Raleigh, are his own. We'll see you on the... Although I'm kind of thinking that there might have been one. We'll see you on tomorrow's episode. Typically, we're publishing this on a Thursday, so tomorrow should be our game.
Correct.
TikTok Next Block, live at 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay? That's the game where you pay... God, Diesel.
You are having a rough go of it.
That's where you play for 1 million sats, and you can play in the chat for 1,000 sats for every correct answer. So, let's have some fun. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.